Welcome back, everybody. My name is Sheraz.ali. I'm a real estate broker working at Suits Realty for over a decade, and I help my clients buy, sell, and rent their properties across the 5 boroughs. Today, I want to explain what a HELOC is. A lot of people don't know that you can tap into your equity in your house without having to do a refinance, which is a restructure of your entire mortgage. HELOC is HELOC. It stands for Home Equity Line of Credit. And right now, a lot of homeowners are sitting on interest rates around the 3%, 2.5%, 4.5% that they don't want to let go. However, they're sitting on a lot of equity in their home as well. And it gets frustrating that why can't I tap into my equity without having to cash out and refinance? Because if you refinance, you're moving your mortgage up to today's interest rates. And nobody wants to lose their 3% or 4% interest rate today. That's locked in. So enter Home Equity Line of Credit. This is going to be your way of getting equity. This is going to be your way of accessing equity in your home without refinancing your loan. I want to start with a couple of quick facts about the mortgage industry and the home ownership here in America. Fact number 1, over 72% of homeowners are sitting on equity in their homes as of second quarter of 2024. 72% of homeowners are sitting on equity. So again, that doesn't mean they're sitting on 30, 40, 100,000, 500, but they have some type of equity in their home, meaning they're not underwater on their loans. They actually have more value sitting in the house than what's owed on the property. Fact number 2, value of owner-occupied homes has reached $48.2 trillion. That is the highest that we have seen for a very, very, very long time. Value of homeowners, of primary homeowners, so we're not talking about commercial properties, we're not talking about investment properties as multifamily. We're talking about primarily owned, where owners are occupying those properties. That has reached $48.2 trillion. Very important, very nice fact. Fact number 3, 40% of owner-occupied homes are mortgage-free. The highest has been since 2005. 40% of homeowners in the United States have no mortgage. That's insane. That's a lot of equity sitting in those homes, whether those homes are worth $100,000 or $400,000 or $1 million. 40% of homeowners, highest since it's been 2005. And fact number 4, average equity of homeowners is roughly around $267,000. So out of the 72% of homeowners that are sitting on equity, the average equity between those 72% of people is $267,000. So this is where a HELOC comes into play. And a HELOC is very, very easy to obtain. And I'll go into that right now. How do you get a HELOC? So qualifying for a HELOC, it's basically very, very similar to when you're buying the property in terms of loan to debt, loan to value, and income, your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So loan to value, they want to make sure, from my understanding and what I've seen the banks that I deal with, they don't, and right now they're in a very anti-risk environment, so they're not taking a lot of risks. They want to see at least 80% loan to value. So they want 20% of equity to remain in your home. But perfect example, if you own a home that's worth $1 million and you owe $600,000 on it, 80% of $1 million, so if the bank doesn't want to exceed 80% of all the loans that you have on that house cannot exceed 80%, that's $800,000. But if you currently only owe $600,000, you can tap into $200,000 worth of equity and still have another $200,000 left in your home if you were to ever sell it. So with this, that's a lot of money that you can take and then implement it into different areas of your life, whether that'll be investing or fixing up your current home, whatever you want to do with it. So that's the first qualification, loan to value. Understand what is the value of your home today, how much do you owe, and take 80% of the current value minus what you owe. That's the equity that you're sitting on. And there's a bunch of calculators you can find online that can help you with this calculation. And also you can go online to Zillow and Realtor and a bunch of different websites to get an understanding of the value of your home, so you can plug that into the calculator and roughly get an estimate. The next qualification is going to be a debt-to-income ratio. Now, the bank is going to take all your obligations, your debt obligations, student loans, your current mortgage payment if you have, any car payments, credit card payments, whatever it is, they'll add that up, and they'll add the estimated new payment for the home equity line of credit, and that cannot exceed a certain debt-to-income ratio, whether that be 40% or 50% or 30%, whatever. Every bank has their own standards and their own guidelines. So shop around and see who gives you the best best rate, and as well as who's giving you the fastest closing. And they'll tell you, hey, you can't exceed this amount of debt. So loan to value, 80% is where everybody is in. Some areas they might even they might go as high as 90%. So that's on for you to decide. And debt to income ratio. So with these two, then the rest of the qualifications all just paperwork. Then making sure they do an appraisal on the property to make sure it's worth what you're saying it's worth. And they also have your income documents, your tax returns, et cetera, et cetera. There's a bunch of things that they're going to need. Work with your loan officer, work with the bank that you're working with, and see what they can qualify you for. So that's how you qualify for a home equity. Now, the next part of home equity is the payments. How do payments work on a home equity line of credit? Typically, payments are going to be, you can opt in for interest-only payments, which will reduce your payment per month drastically. So, and the terms, so let's start with the terms. So the terms you're going to get is either a 3-year draw period and a 27-year repayment period, or you'll get 525 or a 1020. What that just stands for is the first number is your draw period. Draw period means that you can take the money out. So if you get a home equity line of credit, you close that, and you have available $200,000 to you, you can take out $50,000, use it, and repay it back. And that 200 is available to you again. So again, if you have 200, you take 50, that's 150 left over there that you still have available to you because you withdrew 50,000. However, once you put the 50 back, you have that 200,000 available again, and you only pay interest on the money you take and the days that you take it, because the interest accrues daily. So this is what makes it so amazing. It's very similar to a credit card. So if you have a credit card and your limit is $5,000 and you use the credit card, obviously your available credit goes down, and then as you make those payments, your available credit continues to rise back up. It's the same concept with the home equity. And the best part is that you only pay interest on the funds that you take out, so you're not paying funds on untouched equity. So if you don't need the entire 200,000, you don't pay interest on it. Let's say you only need 10,000, you only need 100, whatever it is. That's what you're going to pay interest on. And that's the draw period. So, and then the remainder of that, once your draw period has closed, then whatever your balance is left on that day. So let's say your draw period ends in April 1st of 2027. And on a $200,000 home equity line of credit, you still owed at that point $110,000. Well, that's going to get locked in. You're no longer going to be able to draw more money out. So if you wanted to, like a week before or a day before, you can go ahead and actually withdraw the entire home equity line of credit and then let it lock in, and then you'll just be set on a repayment period. After that, you'll just have a fixed monthly payment. You'll have a monthly payment that you need to make. It's not fixed, it's adjustable. I'll go over the interest rate in a bit as well. But it'll be whatever the interest is, and then they'll calculate your payment every single month, and then that's the payment that you're going to make on per month. But you cannot draw the money, you can only pay back. You won't be able to withdraw anymore. So typically I've seen 3-year draw periods, 5-year draw periods, and 10-year draw periods. So you want to work with different lenders, find out who has the better draw period, who has a better rate for those draw periods, and then you want to lock in with them. Now, when it comes to interest rates on a home equity line of credit, 9 out of 10 times, they're going to be adjustable rates. So they fluctuate with the market. And right now, by far, today is December 3rd, 2024. Right now, I think is the best time for you to tap into your equity and get that home equity line of credit opened up. Yes, the interest rates are higher today, But guess what? They're gonna be coming down slowly. And as they come down, so will the rate on your home equity line of credit. Because remember, it's an adjustable rate. It fluctuates every month. So whatever the rate is on the first of the month gets locked in for those 30 days. So whatever money you're withdrawing and using, paying back, everything, that interest is calculated based off of that rate that was locked in the beginning of the month. So it's going to be adjustable rate, and you can opt in for an interest-only payment. So meaning your minimum payment is going to be super cheap. So if you borrowed $100,000 and you withdrew $100K out of your home equity, and let's say you got a rate of 7%, that's a $700 monthly mortgage, monthly payment, sorry, not mortgage, a home equity line of credit payment, interest only, that you need to make. And anything you pay above that will go towards principal. So you can technically pay the interest and pay back the entire principal and have it available for you again. So this makes it very versatile. Home equities are very, very versatile. I love home equity line of credits. Even if you don't use them, they're great to have for emergency funds or for a variety of other reasons. So the rate is adjustable, and a lot of banks also allow you. So if you're going to be withdrawing, let's say you have a home equity line of credit for, again, $200,000, and you're going to be borrowing money, you're going to be withdrawing money to do some renovations on your home, and it's going to cost you $80,000. You can speak to the bank about locking in a fixed rate on just that $80,000 portion, and most of the time they'll give you a great deal. They'll give you a lower rate because you're locking something in. It's guaranteed for them that they're going to make interest money on that. So you can lock in just that $80,000 and put it off for a repayment period and everything, and you can work with your bank on securing it. And then you'll still have that remainder 120 available to you that you can withdraw, pay back during your draw period until your draw period is over. So adjustable rate, and the best part is when your draw period is coming to a close, let's say you got a 5-year draw period, you can refinance this entire home equity line of credit loan and restart your draw period all over again. Or you can, if you owe nothing on it, you can just close it out, reopen a new one again. So there's it's very versatile. You can use it throughout your home ownership to do a bunch of different things. And the way home equity works when it comes to being recorded against your property, it goes in as a second mortgage, second lien to your property. So the first lien will always be the primary mortgage, and they will be the second lien. So if you do have solar, I've helped clients secure home equity lines of credit, and I've advised them on it. And the biggest issue we've always come across is solar. So if you have solar, you already want to start that subordination agreement with the solar company, because solar it will be in second position. It's also a lien against your property. Or if you have any other liens against your property, you want to start the subordination, because HELOC will want to come in at second position. So whatever other debt that you might have against your property needs to move over to the third position, and they need to sign off on that. So they have their own requirements, and you can work with that on those debts that you have with other banks or private lenders, whatever it is. Now I want to talk about using your home equity to build a real estate portfolio. This is what I know you've probably been waiting for, like, hey, Sheraz, get on with it already. I understand what a home equity is. You've been rambling on. How can I use it to make more money? That's the most important part. Now, yes, you can take this money and you can go dump it into the stock market if you think you're going to get outsized returns of 30%, 50%. Put it in crypto if you think you're going to make money from there. Me personally, I would not risk my money like that, especially when I'm borrowing money on a high interest and I'm putting it into something that might make more money, be a higher return than the money that I'm paying, the interest I'm paying on that money that I'm taking out. So, you want to calculate that, make sure, you're taking a risk in your favor, not against you. But how do you build a real estate portfolio? Now, again, for the sake, you're taking out, let's say you get approved and you got a $200,000 home equity line of credit open. Now, what you can do is you can take the funds from there. Now, this is going to require patience. It's going to require dedication and just a lot of searching time. You're going to need a lot of time for this. So you can start searching for a fixer-upper property. Go sit at auctions. Find some foreclosures, or maybe a neighbor selling a house, word of mouth, something. this is what you're going to do. You're going to find a property that's way below market value. You're talking 30%, 20% below market value. If you're going to build a real estate portfolio, this is the way to do it. You need to purchase below market. You'll find other people, they may going through a divorce, or maybe they're selling due to financial situations, whatever it might be. You want those type of deals where you're getting a drastic reduction from the market price, and you want to secure those properties, and you can use your home equity, use the funds from there, and you purchase those properties as investment properties. So again, you're not purchasing those with your tax returns, with your pay stubs, based off of your information. It's going to be solely investment property, and the way those investment loans work is they go based off of the rents that you are going to be collecting from the new property that you're going to secure. So you want to purchase using an investment loan such as DSCR loan, and then you can take your home equity funds and you can put it in there. And the best part is, now when you purchase that investment property and you went in with 20% down payment, now you can go in, you can fix up that property. Let's say you still have some more funds left over in your home equity because you didn't deplete the entire thing on a down payment. Don't do that. Don't be naive and deplete your entire home equity line of credit on the down payment. So you want to use funds from there, put a 20% plus whatever you can comfortably on an investment property. You secure the property. Now you can use some more funds to fix that property up, because now you have to bring it to market conditions. So this way, the value of that property rapidly increases. So you got it below market, you fixed it up, you've fixed whatever needed to be done with the property, and now you've brought it back to market. So now all of a sudden you've recaptured. So not only did you buy it 20% below, now you've recaptured that 20%. So you technically have 40% equity in that home. Now to break it down in numbers, it's plain simple math. If it's $500,000 house that you're purchasing, you put down 20%, that's $100,000. That means you still owe $400 on that house. But now after you fixed it up, that house is worth $600. So you've doubled your initial investment. So you went in with $100 grand, now you have $200,000 in equity in that house. Now what you do is you rent that property out, and now you want to make sure that that property, after rented, covers your mortgage payment on that investment. So those are numbers you have to work out when you're searching for that investment property. And I have I'll link it below for a detailed video on how to find a great investment. So as long as you follow those instructions, you've got that investment property, and now the rent that's gonna drive from that property is going to pay for that mortgage, and it's not coming out of your pocket. You can go ahead and refinance that house. Now, when you refinance that house, the bank will reappraise the property, and they'll see, oh yes, Mr. Ali, you've fixed up the property, it's rented, you're getting great rent, and the bank is going to feel super secure. They're going to say, okay, great, your house is worth $600, even though it was worth $500, even though you bought it at $5. Today, because you fixed it up, it's fully rented out, and we have the leases, we have copies of rent checks coming in every single month. Now the property is worth $600. Refinance, take your 20% equity back out, because the bank typically will want to keep 80% of equity still in the LTV, loan to value. They will still want to keep 20% of equity in the house still. So take your other 20% out. You can cash out, refi the $100,000 back, pay back the home equity. Boom. Now you have your home equity line of credit, whatever the full available credit was, it's available to you again. So you can do this once a year, twice a year. It depends on where you're purchasing, how much you're purchasing, how you're moving your money, how fast you're doing everything. So you can do this once or twice a year for your draw periods that you have, whether it's 3, 5, or 10. And slowly but surely, you will accumulate a real estate portfolio that is recession proof, because you still have a ton of equity in your house. You didn't tap into it. You continue to take your initial investments out and move them back into, you're paying less or no interest on your home equity, and then you're using the funds for another property, then another one, and it just recycles like this, and you just keep going. It's a snowball effect. Sooner or later, you'll start with 2 units, and then you'll be buying 6 units, then 20 units, and it just keeps going from there. And now you have a portfolio of properties that are sitting with 20% equity in them. And now you can tap into all of those equities if you want. And then, sky's the limit from there. So that's how you can use home equity line of credit. One, the way you qualify. So we've gone over qualification, we've gone over payments, we've gone over the rates and how they work on home equities, and how you can use your home equity line of credit to start a real estate portfolio. I hope this video was very informative. I hope you got a lot of information and a lot of usefulness out of this. Go ahead and save this video, because I know you might need to watch it twice to get all of that information soaked in. It's very difficult to comprehend it on the first try. So like this video, subscribe, read the description for the rest of the links that I've posted and other resources. And if you found any value, please like, subscribe, share with a friend or family, and I'll see you guys on the next one.